Hello. So, welcome to this meditative life. Today, we're going to be continuing to practicing with emotions, and this time coming more in touch with the aspect of wisdom to see clearly. When we look at emotion, we can see that can be perceptions, beliefs, ideas about the emotion. We can see this. We can see the constructs of mind around it. We can see the different facets of it. And really, with wisdom, what we're looking to is the nature of the emotion. And what we begin to see is that it's impermanent, that it's got many different components, and that there's nothing independent in it. And when we start to see all of this, it's very freeing. So there is another aspect. This is really kind of on the relative level. We're kind of dismantling the power of that emotion over us. But in coming weeks, what we will do, or the next week, is be looking to more of the ultimate level with emotion. But for this week, this is how we will explore. And in doing so, we are going to practice some with, in the beginning, just being with the emotion, and then bringing in the analytical mind, which is, it kind of helps to sharpen or draw interest, curiosity. We ask ourselves a question, and then we really look into our own experience to see, with an open mind that is fresh, with this stability of awareness. So it isn't an analytical mind of really, needing to figure it out, but it's an analytical mind of inquiry that has us looking back in our own experience, so we can see what is really true. We can really see our world as it is, rather than believing many of these misperceptions that we just naturally carry, because this is how we've constructed our world through the conceptual mind. So let's begin. So once again, finding your posture where the spine is upright, and yet a sense of relaxation and ease. Softening the muscles to whatever degree they soften, and relaxing with this. And for a few moments, just feeling your body sitting, the sensations in your body. Just allowing your mind to find stability in being present within the experience of sitting. And then bringing to mind a compassionate motivation. A motivation that inspires you, calls forth your energy, and has an openness of heart. That allows the potential that you're practicing here now can be of benefit to beings everywhere. Then Simply rest in open awareness, where we let everything be as it is. All of our sense doors are open. Everything is there, and yet we rest within this knowing quality that is our nature, that is always here. So we let everything be. A simple presence that is undistracted. And then just noticing within your experience, is there an emotion that is present? Maybe something happened earlier in the day that triggered you. And just by remembering it, it brings the emotion back. Or maybe you're just carrying some irritation, aversion, discomfort from your day, or an emotion that's been present, lingering for days. So getting in touch with this emotion through how we know it, how we feel it. Is there images, memories? That trigger thoughts? That bring about an atmosphere in the mind? That are reflected in sensations? Or maybe it's the sensations that give us a clue. Checking how our body feels. The tightness around our eyes. Tension. And as we be with that, just seeing what happens. Just being with this emotion. As we do so, looking to see, maybe it's an emotion of fear or anger, loneliness. Just looking to see, is there anything permanent within this? Or do the thoughts come and go? The pictures, images. The commentary. Does it change? Or is it permanent? The sensations in the body. Is there anything within this emotion that is unchanging? Within this, we see that there's many components. Many different pieces to what we call loneliness, fear, excitement, joy, whatever emotion may be present. Is there any one thing that is the anger, that is the joy, that is the excitement, the fear? Or is it made up of these many components? That are in flux, changing. And then, as we see these components, these pieces, is there a connection with all of these pieces that give rise to the emotion? For example, if someone has irritated us, and the memory or the image of the person is gone, is the irritation still the same? Or is this in a causal relationship, interdependent? So looking to see, is there anything independent that is not affected, but is the solid emotion? Or did the emotion arise when the conditions were such? You might even see just the effect of being aware of this emotion. When we're not feeding the thoughts, when we're not trying to block it. But as we see this emotion that is impermanent in its nature, made up of different components, different pieces, there's nothing singular. If we keep looking at the emotion, it keeps breaking down. There's nothing of substance. And there's nothing that is independent, that inherently exists within it as something singular, solid, real. We start to see these aspects. In doing so, we can rest in that which knows. Sometimes emotions are intense, repetitive. There may be some that we get hooked by over and over again. Just having that curiosity, that interest, to feel, to know, to see this display. Seeing if there's beliefs that hook us into this is who I am, this is me. Or is it simply a cloud in the sky? Or a rainbow? If we find we're getting hooked, just asking a question. Is there something permanent here? Or is this emotion already changing just by interest? Is there any one thing that truly exists within this emotion? Sometimes we might feel the spaciousness that comes. And then maybe it grabs us again. Be interested. What's the experience? Is there anything that's me within this? But looking. At times you can simply rest in awareness itself. wisdom, the seeing emotion in its nature that is impermanent, that is made up of many different pieces, of which there's nothing that independently exists. A play of conditions, a weather pattern. Not the truth of who we truly are. And yet, we can know this. As we know this as it is, at times we taste of the purity of each emotion. We find the wisdom within it. With desire, the joy. With what could be ignorance, we taste the non-conceptual mind. With aversion, we find discriminating wisdom. When we can allow emotions to be just as they are and see clearly. And then letting go of doing anything and just let your mind be natural, be as it is. And as we conclude the session, taking a moment to appreciate that you've taken this time due to your own love, kindness, compassion, to look into your mind, to see more clearly as a means of alleviating suffering for ourselves and the world. And dedicating any benefit, whether we judge it to be successful, unsuccessful, we came with a pure motivation and we practiced, dedicating this to be a benefit for all beings everywhere. Okay, so thank you for your practice, your willingness to look into what's not so easy to do. If it was easy, we would all be fully enlightened now, and we would not find so many problems in the world that are based in our emotional reactivity. And so just knowing that by doing this, we really are contributing to world peace and to helping the world to live in harmony. And I encourage you to really practice with this in your daily life. That in these moments throughout the day when things happen, we get caught, this interest, this curiosity, see if you can find a question that helps you to look freshly at your own experience, to be able to see the hooks where we're getting caught, what it is that, the jab to me that I just can't bear right now. I feel hurt, I feel abandoned, I feel sad, disappointed, or just as we do that, just looking to where the fixation has happened and seeing it's impermanent, many components, and there's nothing independent here. But it can just be done in keep flashing, looking as emotions arise and staying steady. So the more steadiness we have throughout the day, the more capacity we have when things suddenly arise to be present. And so I wish us all the best with this, because the world so needs it.